Welcome to the second video of the AskForensics Sales and Account Growth video series. With me again is my good friend Al Kabus, and Al shared some very insightful insights for our last video about existing accounts. And today we're going to be discussing account growth and sales and how to most effectively move forward, navigating through a crisis like COVID-19 and beyond. So with that, Al, I have a question kind of segueing from what we were talking about last month, and that is, what changes do you think companies should make to their sales and account management strategies during a crisis like we're experiencing right now?
Sure. Rick, I think, first of all, it's to look at the segments you serve and the type of businesses that you're serving out there and understand what segments are the most promising in terms of a downturn. For instance, some industries are much more effective than others. Some are continuing to perform okay. So it's not spending time on doing a milk run or handling accounts that normally would be productive if they're not. It's shifting and making sure that you're focused on those productive accounts.
So really prioritize and get a sense of your clients and what their account segments look like and prioritize against those success criteria?
Exactly. Prioritize and then take advantage of technology. Just because we're now in a no contact zone in terms of our clients, think about this. If I'm a sales representative making 4 physical calls a day in my car, I may be able to make 10 calls or 12 calls on video. Here's another thing you can do. If you're taking video, your senior leadership team is also sitting. They're not traveling. They're not in meetings as much. They're doing everything by Zoom as well. So why not have executive sponsorship? You could have the CEO of your company, the head of sales, join you in a call, maybe for 5 minutes. Think about the power of that. A lot of companies aren't thinking about how to leverage not only technology, but people in this non-touch era we're in.
Well, that's a fantastic point. And Al, you bring up a comment I heard just the other day where one of our clients is presenting their proposal via a Zoom call, and they're rehearsing by Zoom to present by Zoom because no one can travel to the prospect. That can be a game changer when you think
Right.
of bringing people together and the right levels within a presentation.
No question. I believe that all goes a long way. It creates even a higher bond. You get to upscope not only within your organization, but you may be able to do that with a client and suggest, I'd like to have my head of sales or my CEO meet yours, depending on the size of the company. And these are ways that you can go in deeper. You can change the conversation from things that you would talk about at your level to much more sophisticated or higher level conversations that create better bonds and unity and alignment during these uncertain times.
No, that's a great point. What changes, Al, to communications and how to interact with clients do you think that companies should make during a crisis like COVID-19 beyond Zoom? Are there interactions that we should all keep in mind and implement that we haven't been doing before?
Yeah, I think there's a few things you can do beyond Zoom, which is the contact. It's obviously we have text and we have emails. I'm always a proponent of finding out how your client likes to communicate, because we do have several channels open to us, and when they like to communicate. For instance, one client may say, I love to get your emails or your texts or your follow-up in the morning. Another client might be in the PM. Now you start to schedule those touch points in, and you start to balance your schedule, and you find out, do they want text? Do they want a phone call? Do they want email? You can fine tune your digital strategy to exactly how your client enjoys receiving it. It's sometimes a generational issue. Sometimes they want to know what's going on, and you can specifically ask them how often, what the frequency is, and what type of material might be most benefiting to them right now.
You know, Al, if I was to summarize what you're sharing with us today, it's almost like we can become closer together and communicate more intimately in using technology than maybe we were before.
Absolutely. And people are going to be doing a lot more with less people. As we come out of this crisis with the amount of reductions in force that are going on in all industries for the most part, we're going to have to become more efficient. And we've always known the dream of technology, and now we're forced into it. So I think this is forever going to change the way people think about their space needs, their office requirements, their efficiencies. I think customers are going to feel differently about this interaction if they start to become extremely comfortable, which most people are with digital. I think the world will change, and those who change faster, those who adopt these and make them part of their flow and make it natural and easy to do business with, they're going to be the winners.
Al, those are great points. And just in conclusion, what you're raising today synchronizes perfectly with all of the data that we've accumulated over the years on relationships and communications and being transparent. I mean, those are elements of account health that we have seen for years, and everything that you've been sharing today goes along with our longstanding findings. The takeaway, though, is it's going to be a different approach moving forward, but using the same important elements that have been so critical to success in the past.
Agree, agree. I think your business is very, very valuable in these times, Rick, with third-party knowledge. That's the other thing. There's a lot of uncertainty out there, and having some objective input at this time has never been more important. There's much more murkiness, there's change, and within change comes uncertainty and blind spots. And I believe that having good channel partners that can help put fog lights out there for us and clear up some of the confusion might really help as well. So the work you're doing is very important.
Thank you, Alan. Thank you for joining us today. And we look forward to having you participate in our next video for next month's newsletter.
Great. Thanks, Rick.